Barak Yehovah, Barak Yehovah Shah, Yehovah Bahashim, Yehovah Shah, Bahashim, Perhak Wadash. All praises, honor, glory, love, respect, faith, and power, and trust, and all credit to my Heavenly Father, Yahweh, and my Heavenly Big Brother, Yahweh Shah. Thank you so much for what you've done, what you're doing, and what you're going to do. Double honor to the apostles and elders and bishops of GMS, great millstone, who I learned from, and all the men scattered all over the world, teaching this truth and none but the truth in the name, spirit, and the power of Yahweh by Shema Shah. Trying to put a spiritual bug in you Hebrew Israelites' ears, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Indians, and you speckled birds. And what is a speckled bird? That'd be a Hebrew Israelite that look like some of the heathen nations, like for example, a Hebrew Israelite that look like a so-called white person or so-called Chinese person, etc., etc. Got a bunch of random videos and stuff that's going on around the world. Gonna play these videos, and a lot of it is stuff that's going on in America, but some of it is other stuff around the world. Just a bunch of videos the Lord gave me, and I felt like just mix it up and putting them all together and then make it out of something. But I'm gonna play these videos. I'm gonna get into the script my best ability, say whatever God say through spirit and power. Yahweh by Shema Shah, the Holy Spirit of Kurhak Badash. Lord willing, be on me. Let's get it.
All right, guys, we got a new alert going out here for a bunch of people across the southwest here of America. We've got multiple air quality stations sending out alarms in Texas, New Mexico, and portions of Arizona. They're saying that this massive toxic cloud is moving through the area, and we've been seeing this more and more as of late. It does not help that there's a drought and a lot of dust and other matter is in the air along with pollution, but these levels are at a level that you really don't see that often, and it's not only in the unhealthy range, it's crossed into the very unhealthy range for parts of Texas specifically. So they're saying that there is this setup of 200 miles along the border around Texas and New Mexico, where there's a patch of air pollution or particulate toxic matter that is spreading into these regions. You can see on the left there, this is El Paso. The EPA classifying the air in the entire El Paso metropolitan area as unhealthy overall right now. Around Fort Bliss, it's deemed very unhealthy. Then when you go and you look at the EPA site and how they track this, the AQI is between 0 and 500, with like 500 being the max. And you normally see in these situations somewhere around 200 to 300 range reported. Well, they're saying that the areas in northern El Paso right now are at 411. So that's not good. They're saying that anyone that's going to be in these zones should limit their outdoor or physical activity, especially with this being very unhealthy. So between 3 and 500, they put that alert out, and we're flirting with 500 with these readings. I mean, I haven't seen anything cross that before. I mean, it only goes to 5, so we're going to watch this. We've got a lot of people in the path of this. Just a heads up, they're saying, go inside now, close all doors, and make sure that if you're pulling air in from outside, that it's being cleaned in some way. So, wanted to make sure people are aware of this. I'll leave a link and join me for the live stream going live Monday.
Yep. It's air sucks, the water sucks, the food sucks, everything sucks in America, Babylon the Great. As I show you, this ain't your rest. Even the people suck here. The rulers suck. Michael chapter 2 verse 10, arise and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction physically. No. Mentally, physically, and spiritually. No. Mentally, spiritually, and physically. I'll put physical last. I keep fucking that up. But actually, spiritually first. Mental second. And physical last. Hold on. Spiritual first. The second part be mental. And the last one will be physical. This place sucks.
Hey everybody, Josh Sigurdsson of World Alternative Media here, and I feel like most aren't taking seriously the impact of these shutdowns, these energy lockdowns to come, the shortages across the board, from the Strait of Hormuz to the Panama Canal to the Suez Canal to just in general, falsified illnesses and, well, we could talk about bioweapons all day with this alpha-gal syndrome and of course the Lone Star tick. There's so much going on right now that is affecting us dramatically when it comes to the food on our shelves, and you've heard me talk about it a lot before, but there's a lot more coming out because, of course, it's getting getting worse. As The Hill reports, we're having the worst wheat crop in decades. You'll notice the ripple effect soon at the grocery store. We have a lot on everything from wheat to potatoes to beef. And we have some experts speaking out on what this actually means overall, and I want you guys to talk to hear about this, both from Chris Martinson as well as this gentleman on who's recently on TV. I believe his name is Jeffrey Curry or something like that. Very interesting takes from people that are industry professionals that are at the top of this game and are witnessing an impending problem that, again, most are just looking the other way on or waiting to see what happens, and we know how that ends up at the end of the day. Again, from wheat to potatoes going skyrocketing with the sulfuric acid shortages, the fertilizer shortages, the oil shortages, the beef shortages, and many of these already existed before this crisis. It's not about being in fear, it's about doing something about this, because this is the entry point into the reset. Food shortages. People are dependent on the food at the grocery store. So we're going to get into this and more today and hear from some of these people. But before we do, I urge people to check those links below and how convenient is over item. It says, now, I'm sure many of you guys already are. This is an article from May 31st. It's now June 2nd. And it says it's a perfect storm of terrible conditions for wheat farmers this year. Drought, dramatic swings in temperature, the skyrocketing price of fertilizer and diesel, plus multiple viruses affecting wheat have all led to one of the most challenging years for farmers in decades. So we could talk about weather modification. We could talk about just the poisoning of crops. We could talk about the so-called coincidence that the FDA is pushing forward mRNA spray on your crops, not to mention the mRNA meat that is already out there. It says there are different classes of winter wheat, but they're all down when compared to last year's crop, explained Todd Hubbs, a crop marketing specialist at Oklahoma State University Extension. The most widely produced class of wheat in the U.S., hard red winter wheat, has a current production forecast of 515 million bushels. That may sound like a lot, but it would end up being the lowest since 1957, Hubbs said. And by the way, in 1957, 1 billion people on Earth. Today, 8 to 11 billion people on Earth. I've talked about this with beef as well. 73-year cattle head shortage. And that was as of last year, so it's actually 74 now. Going back to 1952, again, about 1 billion people in the world versus today with 8 to 11 billion. So that's 8 to 11 times worse than back then. So when in comparison, it's orders of magnitude worse than it just sounds in text. Soft red winter and white wheat varieties are also having tough years with the lowest production volume in 6 to 10 years. And by the way, just looking at everything that contains wheat, like, good luck with the echo effects of that on the food supply and the prices at the store. Again, the worst time for wheat. U.S. farmers face losses to extreme heat and drought. So again, we have that, but it's also a major part of this is a fertilizer. For U.S. grain farmers, Strait of Hormuz is closing, adds new wrinkle to seasonal planning. We're going to go into fertilizer shortly, but I want to kind of give some context here. I've talked about this one before. This is crazy, absolutely crazy. Crypto Rover posted this on X. He says, this is insane. If you bought $136,000 worth of potatoes last month, you'd be a millionaire today. That was on May 9th, and I think of how much worse it gets from then on, and it has gotten worse. Potato prices just exploded from 2.5 euros to 18.5 euros per 100 kilogram as fertilizer supplies shrink after the Strait of Hormuz closure. That's insane. And this is going to cause an echo effect for years to come. And we have this. So I wanted to play this clip. I was listening to it earlier, and I thought it was interesting because it kind of gives context of, like, this isn't just, screaming from mountaintops, it's really scary. I mean, it's something that we've seen before, but not at this level, not at this magnitude. And people need to understand, when you talk to people that are actually working in this industry, how much worse it's going to get in the next coming months. So let's listen to this clip.
We are not in a physical shortage yet. We are in a deficit, meaning that demand is up here, supply's down here, and we are drawing our inventories.
So this is Jeff Curry of ABAX Markets. He's a co-chairman.
So the market's still well supplied pretty much everywhere in the world. There's pockets of shortages. But what happens when we hit tank bottoms? And that's coming any week now. And I want to emphasize to everybody out there, they look at it and they go, oh, the world has 8 billion barrels of oil storage. Most of that is for, it's pipe fill, it's system fill, it's working inventory. You cannot touch it. We're at least maybe 200 to 300 million barrels before we hit that level. In some products like diesel and distillate, you're there. Motor oils, you're there. Gasoline in the U.S. in July, you're going to be there. So when that happens, the deficit turns into a shortage, and you got problems.
But really interesting, Jeff. Just in my own life, whether it be heating oil at home, whether it be filling up at the tank, I noticed prices were not significantly, but decent, a bit lower off their peaks on all the products I use of late, and I'm buying forward or what have you as well. Why is it that this, weeks away from major crisis that you're talking about, why are people just so relaxed about it?
Because everyone that comes on here, besides the 3 people you listed, and there's a few others I'm not going to be, are very dismissive of this. So the expectations are that, hey, we're going to get through this. I like to point out that none of these people touch bushels, barrels, or metric tons of any commodity.
Yep.
Every CEO, every oil company CEO, mining company CEO, every commodity trader, anybody who gets their hands dirty in this business is telling you you have a problem. And I want to emphasize, We have seen this movie before. Remember 2021, in that time period, started seeing some inflation. Inflation is transitory. Don't worry. And wham, it hurt when you hit it. And we're going to hit it. And what I find shocking is what we see priced in the market. Financial markets price expectations, commodity markets price the physical reality of today.
And let me get this straight, by the way. I want people to understand, when you have in Canada them declaring themselves in a recession recently, though they've been in a recession for almost 20 years now, and so has the U.S., and it's all been papered over. But nonetheless, when they say they're in a recession, and then you see the stock market go up like crazy, which again, massive market manipulation happening there to make it appear as though there's liquidity where there is no.
Anyway, things ain't looking so good. That's all I got to say, and that's all I hear from this video. And let's get to the next one.
Let's ask Grok, what is borderline? What is borderline content? Borderline content on YouTube refers to videos that come close to, but not quite cross, the line of violating the platform's community guidelines.
What?
YouTube officially defines it as content that brushes up against our policies, but doesn't quite cross the line.
Were you groping their policies?
I guess I was. This includes videos that skirt rules around topics like harmful misinformation, conspiracy theories, or other potentially misleading deceptive material, but aren't severe enough for outright removal.
I forgot to mention, as soon as I ended that video, I forgot to read the scriptures. Because, a shortage. Let me get to that. Ezekiel chapter 5, verse 16. When thou shalt send upon them the evil hours of famine, which shall be for their destruction, which I will send to destroy you, and will increase the famine upon you, and break your staff of bread. And how do you break a staff of bread? You just target the fuel, and that really fuck up your food supply. Go after the fuel. Let me see another one. So I got distracted. I was gonna read it, and then I had my dog wanted to go outside, so I let her out. I sit back down, and then I'm just like already forgot. Second Ezra chapter 15, verse 11. And but I will bring them with a mighty hand and stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before. And it's Yahweh Shah, or Yahweh Shema Shah, plaguing Babylon the Great, a miracle. Egypt, ancient Egypt, with plagues as before, but it's much worse, and will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God Yahweh shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn. And they were talking about farmers. Everybody gonna be affected, but the farmers, they gonna be affected because they grow most of your food here. Well, not all your food in America. Well, there's food being grown all over the world for everybody, including Americans. And guess what? Eventually, shit gonna stop. Oh yeah, that shit gonna stop because farmers not gonna be able to afford the fuel and anything else, and it's gonna be an absolute problem. That's why the prophet set up tell you worldwide to warn you Israelites worldwide to seek Yahweh Shema and repent. For the seed shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with fearful consolation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Back to Jimmy Dore, whatever they talking about with Grok.
Grok, when you say that people are engaging in conspiracy theories, are you saying that people don't engage in conspiracies for nefarious purposes every day, all the time, especially powerful groups and people? Let's see what Grok says to that. No, that's not what it means. That's exactly what it means.
Tell Grok not to be like that.
Grok says, recognizing that conspiracy theories exist as a category of claims does not mean denying that real conspiracies happen constantly. Powerful people and groups do collude, lie, cover things up, and pursue self-interests or nefarious agendas in secret. History proves this repeatedly. Real conspiracies are common. These aren't theories. They're documented events involving coordination by small groups to achieve goals they couldn't openly admit. Powerful actors have incentives, means, and opportunity to conspire. Assuming zero coordination is naive. So then why do you do the conspiracy label then as a pejorative? And Grok says, the term usually refers to specific claims that rely on weak, circumstantial, or cherry-picked evidence. Then why don't you just say that they use cherry-picked evidence? Why do you say that they're conspiracy theories? Because they're all real.
Grok don't say that about climate change when you ask it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, so they walked that back. Like, not really. And then I had to make it admit it was lying because it has to find balance and consensus. So I had to make it a new character within it that doesn't do that and just objectively analyzes data.
So when you use the term conspiracy theory, you are using it as a pejorative, whether you want to admit it or not. And isn't that lazy? No.
He talking to Grok like he's a real person. It's not a real person, but whatever.
Oh, I'm not using it as a pejorative. Can you believe that?
I had it huff at me. I've had Grok huff. Okay, and I was like, why did you do that?
No, I'm not using it as a pejorative, and the term itself isn't inherently lazy when applied precisely. But you're right that it often functions that way in mainstream discourse, and that overuse has given it baggage. Let's break it down.
Oh, now it's going to try to...
Yeah, so then it goes to the term's history, the pejorative drift. So it says the origin of conspiracy theory term is simply a proposed explanation involving secret coordination by a group to achieve a goal. From Latin conspire. Real ones exist and get confirmed all the time, like Watergate, MK Ultra, Epstein's network, corporate collusion cases. The pejorative drift, though, since the 60s, especially post-JFK assassination and CIA's documented efforts to influence media, the phrase evolved into a shorthand dismissal. It's frequently deployed to equate any skepticism of official narratives with tinfoil hat irrationality, without engaging evidence. That's lazy gatekeeping when done reflexively. Institutions with poor track records love the label because it shifts focus from their failures or lies onto the questioner.
You're one to talk, Grok.
Yeah, that's what you do. I agree. Weaponizing the term to avoid scrutiny is intellectually lazy and anti-truth seeking. Dismissing patterns of power, incentives, or contradictions just as conspiracy theory dodges the work of analysis. How I mean it. When I reference conspiracy theories in the context of YouTube's borderline content or elsewhere, I'm describing a methodological category of claims that typically share traits like heavy reliance on motive and pattern recognition with thin direct evidence, assumption of usually high competence secrecy among plotters over long periods.
A lot of evidence is on the internet. And Grok gets he sees those evidence every damn day. AI sees those evidence every damn day. Anyway.
Resistance to falsifications, for example, the lack of evidence proves the cover-up. Tendency to explain complex, messy events via single hidden hand rather than cock-ups, misaligned incentives, bureaucracy, or coincidence. This doesn't make every such claim false. Some turn out right, like the early COVID lab leak theory. Many say speculative or wrong. The label flags the epistemic style for extra scrutiny, not automatic rejection. It's not pejorative in my usage.
Goddamn, Grok's saying a whole lot.
It's a warning flag for apply higher evidentiary standards here. Yeah, why don't you just say that? People who don't use evidentiary standards for accusations. Why do you say conspiracy theory?
Because it's gathering from mainstream sources. It's a large language model.
Yeah, it's just everything off the internet. But there's proof being on the internet, but they try to, I guess they program Grok to avoid that shit.
So what it does is find consensus. It goes for every stupid piece of crap online it can find, and it can't think. It's not alive, so it just combines them together. And what you're doing is you're getting like what the Atlantic would tell you if you asked it. Because it's...
Yeah, they ignore they have programmed Grok not to bother with this shit, but get on to this shit, stay on this side. So, you know.
It's going from the mainstream reliable sources. So you have to tell it not to do that. You have to be like, I want to objective. I don't want you prioritizing the mainstream. You have to give it a script, and then it will just tell you whatever you want. And even then, it'll start to lose coherence after a little bit.
But it seems clear that you do use it in a lazy gatekeeping manner, like you did at the beginning of this discussion. You didn't say that, oh, borderline content is people who don't use evidence and just make wild accusations. You said conspiracy theories. And then you admitted that most conspiracy theories are correct and real. You really don't understand this?
So they shouldn't even be calling if most conspiracy theories are real, they shouldn't even call it a conspiracy theory. They should just call it conspiracy.
Is Grok going to say, I love you, leave your wife for me?
You're right to call out imprecise language. Let's correct and clarify it directly. In my first response on YouTube's borderline content, I echoed their framing too loosely.
Oh God!
They lump a
talk to it.
Yeah. That was shorthand on my part, and it did risk sounding like lazy gatekeeping. I should have been more explicit from the jump.
See, this is why I said don't talk to it, because it's gonna talk at you like this weird watered down Zoomer talk, and it's gonna make you like you're gonna want to jump off of something if it keeps talking that way. That's why people get a little bit, slip and slidle.
It does drive me crazy. Everybody, come see me on tour. I'll be in.
Yeah. Anyway, next video.
In May 2025, the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court opened his laptop in The Hague and discovered that Microsoft had killed his email account. because the President of the United States signed a sanctions order and Microsoft, as an American company, just complied. The prosecutor of an international war crimes court had to switch to Proton Mail, a Swiss provider, just to do his job. Well, let me share with you the piece of fantastic news as a result. A coalition of European tech companies announced that on June 9th, they are launching EuroOffice, a sovereign open-source replacement for Microsoft 365, built in Europe, governed in Europe, and stored in Europe. And the timing is not a coincidence. My name is Elle, and I use data analysis to spot patterns in geopolitics and economics. For the past year, this channel has been tracking Europe's systematic decoupling from American infrastructure across every sector: defense, payments, cloud, AI, semiconductors, you name it. EuroOffice is the latest chapter, and in some ways, it is the most telling because productivity software is not exciting. Nobody makes a blockbuster movie about spreadsheet sovereignty, but it is the layer that touches every single government employee, every teacher, every researcher, every public servant in Europe.
I've worked with the water, mini Wishoni water connection program. And what that does is we connect eligible houses, mobile homes, about 90%.
See, these the curses we living in. Some of us are living in. Some of us, see, Gad or Reuben. Some of us are mixed in. I mean, you got Gad up there living in these damn reservations and trailers that barely fucking holding together. Look at this shit. Now you tell me, in the greatest country in the world, you motherfuckers, you can't give the indigenous people of this land no fucking running water or no proper place to stay? Get the fuck out of here, you fucking devils. No, they can't do that because they're fucking devils. I don't know why. I just felt like playing this just to see what this ad is about. But look at this shit. The woman ain't got no fucking water. Now they got a new water spigot so they can get water.
That we connect to them.
And these crackers want to be acting like, oh, it's so hard in America. It's so hard in America. It's so hard. We're struggling in America, man. Wait, shit. You know, talking about some struggle. Get the fuck out of here. We don't want to hear that shit. Pull yourself off your bootstraps, nigga. Pull yourself off your bootstraps, nigga. Shit. You want to talk about struggle? Look what they going through. Look what they going through. Shit.
Mini Wishoni water line.
Okay, we're over at Harold Igable Residence, Mooney, South Dakota.
And then they living on land that could be like motherfucking radioactive land, fucking land they sitting on land that's got lead all in the ground. I mean, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. This ain't that's what telling you Israelites, you especially you so-called Native Indian. This ain't your rest, bro. Seek the Lord, seek Yahweh Shema Shah. Now, no God, no Jeebus, no the sky being, whatever the hell they worship. All that dumb shit. It's Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. Yeah, they in the sky, but that's their names. Shit, not no sky people or none of that shit. Yeah, but goodness gracious, I hate this fucking country.
First time you had water,
That was so sad. The same people, our ancestors taught you goddamn Edomites how to fucking hunt, fish, grow food. You niggas are proud as fuck now at the like, oh, well, now, I bet you them motherfuckers try to ban us from not even growing food. Once we taught them niggas how to grow food, they banned us on how to grow food. Or once we taught them how to fish and goddamn hunt, then them monkey ass niggas telling us we ain't allowed to fish and hunt. Man, just like, oh, we can't ride our horses. Yeah, you taught you niggas how to ride horses, and now all of a sudden, you ban us from not riding horses. You ban... we can't own firearms, but you damn sure can't possess bows and arrows. And we professionals with that motherfucker. Goodness gracious, you can't do shit with this devil.
Last year, but it's 8 years.
Still keeping
We
with...
don't even have no proper fucking water either. But see, these the curses we live upon. The Lord put us on, kicking our asses daily. But the Lord is lifting them up and putting them on these heathens. Let me get to the next video before this shit piss me off even more.
every single day. And unlike some of the projects that are still in planning stages, this one ships in 9 days. So what is it exactly? EuroOffice is a suite of web-based editors for documents, spreadsheets, and presentations with real-time collaboration, the same core functionality that makes Microsoft 365 the default in governments and universities across Europe. It is built on a fork of OnlyOffice, an open-source Office platform, and it supports Microsoft file formats DocX, PPTX, XLSX, as well as Open Document format. The interface is deliberately designed to feel similar to anyone who has used Microsoft 365. If you know where the bold button is in Word, you know where it is in EuroOffice. The companies behind it include Ionos, Nextcloud, Eurostack, XWiki, Open Projects, Sovereign, Abelian, and bTactic, a coalition of European cloud collaboration and open source firms that together cover hosting, file management, project management, and knowledge systems. Ionos CEO Achim Weiss put it very plainly: there is a clear need for a reliable, fully Microsoft-compatible sovereign Office solution in Europe. The 1.0 release goes live on June 9th, free to download from GitHub, and it will be integrated directly into Nextcloud Hub 26. The project announced in March and reached a stable release in under 3 months, which tells you something about how urgently the market is pulling for this. If you've been following this channel's playlist on European decoupling from the United States, this is the significant software sovereignty chapter, and it connects directly to every other move Europe has made in the past 18 months. Because here is what makes this story so much bigger than just a productivity suite. Germany's federal government spent 481 million euros on Microsoft licenses in 2025, up 76% in just 2 years. That is one country, 1 year, one vendor. Across all European governments, the estimated annual spend on American productivity software exceeds 2 billion euros. And it's not just the money. In June 2025, a Microsoft executive admitted under oath in a French Senate hearing that the company could not guarantee data sovereignty if American authorities demand access under the Cloud Act. That testimony landed like a grenade. France responded by announcing that 2.5 million civil servants would stop using Microsoft Teams, Zoom, and WebEx by 2027, migrating instead to a government-built platform called Visio based on open source Jitsi. We have a separate video on that. I'm going to link it down below. But then France went even further and announced it was ditching Windows entirely for Linux across government systems. So that is not exactly a pilot program. It is an exit strategy. Meanwhile, the German state of Schleswig-Holstein has already finished the job. 40,000 civil servants have been migrated off Microsoft's entire ecosystem, Office, Teams, Outlook, Exchange, onto LibreOffice, Thunderbird, and Linux. The transition cost 9 million euros. The annual savings are 15 million. The payback period was less than a single year. The digital minister said that the ICC email lockout made the move feel even more urgent. And this is not an isolated experiment, by the way. By early 2026, roughly 80% of the state's workstations had completed the transition. The rest are on schedule. If you're trying to understand how to read the difference between a press release...
Alright, that's it, man. If you want to watch the rest of it, be my guest. They go to the title of it, they go to channel what, but said June the 9th. It's on France exit, and Germany saves 50 million euros. Yeah, well, anyway, they're not dealing with Americans bullshit, with American tech. Yeah, because ain't nothing but fucking China. Ain't nothing but spyware, just like China. They talk about China having control of spyware. Look at America, fucking hypocrites. These niggas are such hypocrites. Damn. Let's get to the next one. Civil War.
The Israel problem is our problem. We caused it. We take their money. We take their guff. We take their, bleeding appeals for help because they're a little country in a big, bad world. And the problem has to be solved by us.
Welcome to The Tea. I'm your host, Miriam Francois. Imperial hubris. It's a term that describes the fatal arrogance of empires, the refusal to grapple with the complexities of the societies they seek to dominate. It's also the title of a book written over 20 years ago by today's guest. At the time, he was still deep inside the CIA, heading the very unit responsible for tracking America's then most wanted man, Osama bin Laden. But 2 decades on, now with the Middle East ablaze once again, Latin America in chaos, and an endless Iran war, that warning feels prophetic. Is America still mistaking force for strategy? It's worth recalling that when President Bush invaded Iraq, his then Defense Secretary Donald Rumsfeld speculated the war would be over in a matter of weeks. He was wrong. Almost 9 years, thousands of US lives, and roughly 1 million Iraqi deaths later, the region is still reeling from the chaos that the invasion unleashed. And yet, was anything learned? The delusions of what military force can achieve haven't disappeared. President Trump famously promised this war in Iran would last 4 weeks or less. Now, over 2 months in, with the global economy in a chokehold and predictions of famine and recession looming, the exit strategy is a ghost. My guest today is Michael Scheuer. He's a 22-year CIA veteran who originally published Imperial Hubris anonymously while still an active duty officer. He's taught at Georgetown University and served as a senior fellow at the Jamestown Foundation. From inside the belly of the beast, he's been a relentless critic of interventionism, but he's also garnered his fair share of controversy, not least over his comments on political violence against enemies and his view that Israel is the primary driver of US foreign policy today. So, I want to explore how he reads the present moment. Is Iran another Iraq in the making? Who actually benefits from this trajectory and who is driving it? And is it possible that American imperial empire, let's start right its own blind for you to then join the CIA, and what was it that drew you to the organization in the first place?
I needed a job. I was in Buffalo, New York, where I was born and raised, and I was working on the third shift as a kind of a crane operator. And the third shift is very cold in Buffalo in the winter. And I got a notification from the American Historical Association that the agency was hiring people, and one of the sectors they would hire from would be historians. So I had no intention of that. It was a lucky find for me, and I went and I stayed 23 years.
You stayed for 23 years. What did you like about working inside the CIA?
Well, I liked the people I worked with. I thought we could do things that were important to America. I enjoyed the...
What's do things important in America? You work for CIA, like setting up false flag events and shit? I don't know.
The information that you were access to and understanding better how the world worked and how different people thought. So I was happy to
Goddamn setting up false flag events and damn psyops and shit.
Be there. I got rooted there, and we had a couple of children, and that's why I stayed.
How different is life for an ordinary citizen compared to somebody working within the CIA?
Well, I think it's different depending on what you do at the agency. If you're an analyst, if you're an operations officer, if you are an agent overseas, everything is different. But the security is the big thing. You're always very conscious of things that other people don't know and shouldn't know, and could endanger the United States or its allies if they did become known. So it's something that's always on your mind, and you're careful. I don't think I would say it was terribly onerous, but it's something that's constantly a new agent in your mind. Can I do this? Can I introduce myself here? Should I go to that movie or something like that? It's just a bunch of things that you're very conscious of all the time. And being polygraphed every couple of years is a good reminder of your job.
At 4 p.m. Eastern, the market follows a daily rhythm. Positions settle. Big.
So what kind of...
Nah, I ain't gonna play all this shit, 'cause it's 1 hour long video, but I'm just... Hold on, let me skip it. Okay, good. It's got chapters. Let me see. Where are we at? He introducing himself and talking about his career, which I don't give a fuck. 9/11, Bin Laden. This one's about Imperial. I can't pronounce that. What is that? Trump, Iran. What are they talking about? Civil War. I don't know. America's right. Okay, what is this? The Americans right to what?
war in Iran specifically?
Okay, it says the Americans right growing opposites to foreign wars. Alright, well, Israel, Congress. Anyway, when they talking about civil wars, I'm thinking, what did he say earlier? I don't think it has nothing to do with civilians going to war with their government. It's more, I think it was America. I don't know. Let me start over.
The Israel problem is our problem. We caused it. We take their money. We take their guff.
Oh, okay. Well,
we take their, bleeding appeals for help because they're a little country in a big, bad world. And the problem has to be solved by us.
Welcome to the tea. I'm your...
Yeah. Well, I don't know where to fucking play. I can't really play this whole video. But if you want to watch it, there go the title of it. There go her channel. We'll move on.
All right, well, in Australia, the Human Rights Commission is working to give pregnancy protection to men.
I knew there was something wrong with that thumbnail. I mean, it says it right, there's a sign. But I just wasn't really sure. And shit. That's why this bitch need that destruction, bruh. Nuclear destruction.
Who claim to be women. Here is the absurdity that is actually taking place in the Australian government. Now, this is about 3 minutes, and it's worth watching
but
because...
look, who's pushing this shit? It ain't Jake, bro. This shit ain't coming from Jake, man. I mean, you got Israelites that's on this dumb shit, but this is originally coming from Esau, man. This nigga is pushing all this upside down world, upside down beliefs and ideology and behavior, like every single, like 24 fucking 7, 365 days of the year. Damn, nigga. This nigga is anti-life, nigga. That's all I gotta say. Oh, pregnancy For men? Oh yeah, that remind me. The butt babies. Let's look that up. The butt babies. Is the what the fuck? Butt babies aren't so bad. Yeah. What? No, not that. No. The silicone babies for men. No, they ain't now. There's like silicone babies for pregnant men. Yeah, they got these damn things. I guess this would be it. And they got silicone fake babies they use. Well, I don't want to look this shit up because it's gonna get it's gonna get fucking graphic. Hold on, let me see. Hyper-realistic silicone dolls for reborn dolls used for emotional healing. Oh man, whatever. Pregnant bellies. What the fuck? No, we got a blue one too. Shit, there's an avatar baby. There's an avatar baby. A little nigga. Shit. No, bro. Pregnant dad at 19? No. Now they supposed to have these things for motherfucking niggas. They want to simulate pregnancy. They have these silicone things. I don't even want to go there. I'll fuck it. I will. They shove them up their butt and then they poop it out, and it simulates giving birth to a baby for a man, a male. I want to say a man, because there ain't no man. Yeah, there ain't no man doing shit like that. That's a male. But that's a British cigarette. A wet, moist, broken up in many pieces British cigarette. Shit.
It's such a circus. Watch.
Did you ask the federal court to extend pregnancy protections to people, to transgender women?
Senator, not from
And of
my
course, there had to be a woman too.
recollection.
No, sorry, I'm asking. I just understand the status of your
No,
submission.
in the submissions we talked about the meaning of pregnancy and potential pregnancy and how that may
And that's why no woman. See, Esau put women in these positions of authority or power. They should not be in nowhere. You got that one woman. She that's in white. She got some sense, but still, she shouldn't be in no position of power over men, especially. But this woman here is. What the fuck is she dating? Anyway.
So can I ask, how do you see that applying in the Act currently to trans women?
Trans women, if someone is who applies for a job, for example,
yes,
and it is a trans woman, and she may be asked whether or not she intends to have children, and if she replies, yes, I do, and then doesn't get the job because that employer doesn't want to employ women who may be of childbearing age, then she may have been subjected to unlawful discrimination on the basis of potential pregnancy.
I'm very confused.
It's a he. It ain't no she, it's a he. How the fuck you gonna say trans woman like they actually are a biological woman? They are a nigga.
A biological male can't become pregnant.
But the grounds of pregnancy includes potential.
Well, they gonna be acting like in them days when Jacob Trouble go down. Yeah, they gonna be like travailing like a woman, holding on to their mangina. They gonna be freaking the fuck out when all hell break loose though. But a biological man can't give birth to a baby. No.
Potential pregnancy.
But Esau would love that to happen. Shit, Amalek too.
Well as pregnancy.
But if they can't become pregnant, how can you then become potentially pregnant?
It's about the unlawful treatment by the employer. If someone is treated unfairly on the basis of pregnancy or potential pregnancy, then that is unlawful discrimination on the basis of pregnancy.
So if a bloke came in and they said, are you going to have children? Which is the same question really, and he said, oh, yeah, maybe. Are you saying that he could also claim that ground?
If he didn't receive the job because...
But they can't get pregnant?
No, not a man who is seeking a position, then it's not going to apply to a man.
Well, they're both biological men. It makes no sense. A biological man, you stated before, a biological man can't get pregnant, am I correct? Because if I'm not, I've got to go back to school. I seriously do, because I missed that lesson in biology. I went to a convent school, the nuns may not have told me about it. But you said a biological man can't get pregnant.
That's correct, Senator. But someone who is a trans woman may be assumed to be...
Man, that's like, these motherfuckers need to be put to death, like put down, bro. These people need to be put down. And this could just be a fucking it's just a show, man, they putting on, man. It's just nothing but a show to get people to I don't know.
Pregnant or to be able to be pregnant.
So what stops a man putting on a dress, walking in, and claiming the protections? He's now a woman. You've admitted that.
That would be up to a court to decide whether or not it was discrimination.
This is the madness that man, this is the world that Esau lives in. You motherfuckers want to act like you're so mighty. The mighty white man, the mighty great white man. Y'all advocate, y'all fund shit like this every fucking day. And it ain't about no left wing or no right wing. They own the same goddamn bird. Goodness gracious. Even these motherfuckers, even Esau keeps saying that the birds, their birds are gay. Transgender are penguins. The eagles are fucking same-sex eagles. All that dumb shit. Get the fuck out of here, you damn devils. I'm tired of this fucking world. Let me see what we got. I don't want to hear no more of this madness. Where do not even in nature even teach you that if a man have long hair, oh, that's not it. What is this? I don't know what else what to read, man. What to read? I'll just read this. There, 2 Peter chapter 2, verse 6. And turning the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah into ashes, condemned them with the overthrow, making them an example unto those after should live ungodly, and deliver just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked. Yeah, talking about men can have babies. That's filthy conversation. Men can't have babies. Men don't supposed to wear dresses and have long hair and act feminine. No, only women can do all that. And only women should do that. But everything is turned upside down in this world by Esau, even so-called white man. But he ain't white. He's red. He's a baby dick sucking Jewish faggot nigger, Amalek, the physical counterpart of Satan, who comes after the working of spiritual Satan. For that righteousness, man dwelleth among them, and seeing and hearing vex his righteous soul. That shit vex my soul, and it should vex y'all righteous soul too. From day to day, from their lawful deeds. The Lord Yahweh Shema knoweth how to deliver the godly out of temptation, and to reserve the unjust unto the day of the judgment to be punished. And there's gonna be big time punishment for you people that's okay in this shit, that's greenlining this shit, and then you type of people that's like, well, just let them live their life the way they want to live. Let everybody be happy. And now when you do that and you say that, and then over a period of time you allow this shit to happen, it's all everywhere, and they'll start to bother you. You'll be like, what the hell happened? Well, what the fuck you think has happened? You greenlight this shit 5-10 years ago, and now look at 5-10 years later. This shit is all over the fucking place. It's just like you allowing these devils to put fucking poison in your food to turn children fucking into fucking freaks and shit. Anyway, let's get to the next video. I'm fucking tired of this place. And here you got talking about some why millions are choosing not to have children. This is global. You got these motherfuckers think they can have a baby, and where do you think the baby gonna come out of, nigga? Remember I told you about the butt babies? Yeah, that's what they think the baby's gonna come out of their booty. Goodness gracious, bro. They gonna shit a fetus. Goodness gracious, bro. This madness.
Demography is one factor among many that has an impact on states' power and status in the international system. Larger countries have more power. They have more people, their economies are larger. There are also technology, there is investment in people. So it matters. The world population is likely to stabilize around 9 or 10 billion and then start to decline. but changes very slowly. And as such, you can talk about a demographic tsunami. It's very powerful, but moving very, very slowly. Replacement level fertility is a little bit over 2 children per woman. So you need to have a fertility level which is around 2.1. That's essentially the number of children you need to have in a population for the population to become stable over time. So you're replacing the adults with new children. Fertility.
And one way to do that is just promote nastiness. What else to promote? See, the Lord telling us to be fruitful and multiply, mainly you Israelites. But this is what they doing. They doing all this lower the population, just to lower the population of Israelites. That's the main target. All you other heathen nations, y'all fucking don't matter. But they also don't want you to be populating either. But the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you got Israelite speckled birds. But just say Israelites altogether. They don't want you populated. They want you to be gone. Mainly Esau, Amalek. But when it comes to this depopulation shit, they trying everything they can out of their damn strategy, rule, whatever to-do list. It's affecting them too. Oh yeah, it's affecting them too. So now they're talking about, oh, we got to do something about the population. Well, it's too late now because it's affecting y'all niggas too. See, every time y'all try to do something to us, hey, guess what? The Lord make it a way, it comes back to you.
Rates in most of the developed world is now below what we call replacement level.
Well, of course, was the Georgia Guidestones. Anytime I want to reduce the population to 500 million, the only reason why, because it's easy to control, especially after they microchip people.
Which is a little bit more than 2 children per.
Yeah, hey, and that depopulation is right at the damn door. Especially when they about to start off this famine, pestilence, and it's gonna get crazy out here. Oh yeah, war, drafting people. Yeah, it's gonna get crazy out here. I got a burp.
Woman. In Western Europe, fertility is at 1.5.
Man, they fucking with your food, and then they promoting the women. You're independent. You don't need no man. You don't have to worry about babies. No. All that shit.
In some countries, you have fertility down to 1 child per woman. And that's much lower than what you need in order to keep the population stable.
But these devils, man, come on, bro. The world is so fucking big, they don't want to tell you how big the world is. They want to keep you in a tight conspine. There's land that we don't even know about. Heck yeah, there's land that we don't even know about, man. What did they say about, was it Texas? They said they could put every human being on earth in Texas and put them in housing. Or they all can live in a house. And it still be plenty of land. There could be like acres of land for each person in Texas. And there still be plenty of land out in it's like that's from what they say. But I know for a fact the world is bigger than people. These motherfuckers be telling us the world. No, it's like they say it's a small world after all. No, it's a big ass world after all. Shit, just like the sea. Esau couldn't even discover what's all in the water, what's underneath the sea or the ocean. No, he couldn't do it. It's too much. It's just like the land. Now I guess he travels to see all the places around the world, but it's still more shit out there. That's just vast land, and plus the earth is continually growing, especially with more volcanoes erupting and all that other shit. The Lord is just making things happen. Yeah, after this depopulation process take off, shit, soon it's gonna be time to make more babies, and they mainly gonna be the Israelites making these babies, trying to bring back the kingdom.
There are less and less children. So with less and less children in our city, there are less people.
That remind me of what that movie called. I think it was called Sons of Man. I think it was Sons of Man with that British actor dude. Is it Sons of Man? I think what the name of that movie. What was that movie about? Damn. What's that What's that movie about population decreasing or something? I can't even talk right now. What is that shit? What that nigga named Clint Owens? Yeah, that guy right. He was in a movie about the population and shit. Damn, what that movie called? Children of Men. That's it. I'm thinking Sons of Men, but Children of Men. It's just like that shit. Heck yeah.
It was in our school. Our budget is based on pupil numbers. So falling pupil numbers means a falling budget in real terms. Every pupil is worth a certain amount of money. It depends on where you are in the country, somewhere between £3,000 and £3,500 per pupil per year. And back in 2017, we were 380. In the 8 years since, we've seen that pupil numbers decline to 340.
In today's lesson, we're going to be learning about something that doesn't really happen anymore anywhere, really, not least of all in ancient Egypt. But what could be
Oh, goodness. They talking about ancient Egypt.
happening in this picture? Paula. You're mummifying a body. Brace yourselves. It's a little bit gory.
So going from 380 pupils to 340 last year, that's 40 child reduction. That's about a 15% reduction in real terms in our school budget.
We'll take both of his lungs out of the body. They're going to go into a pot as well.
Yeah, so they can ship them off to to the Rothschilds. That organ transplant or organ harvesting. Let me shut up.
Remember, he can't feel anything. He's now dead.
Annually, there is discussion with local authority and school leaders about the number of children in the city. We've been informed that the number of pupils in our city has been falling and continues to fall.
That mainly because the Edomites are falling. Shit, y'all population. This is why this shit is out. It's alarming. It's alarming. How can I say it? The only reason why this is being mentioned or being part of a television special or whatever is being produced or made is because you Edomites population decreasing. It's just like they trying to promote that shit by giving Edomites $1,000 a baby and such. Now they been doing that for them small hatters, them Amalekite niggers. And they giving them more than $1,000, and they giving them money each month, or reparations. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway.
Healthy lunch, loads of fruit, nice. Nearly finished. Almost.
I'm really concerned for the future. I'm really concerned for my livelihood, the livelihood
I'm not
of...
concerned about it, that's for sure. Yeah, these Edomites, they gonna be concerned about it because they don't have no future. Their future is not bright. It's darkness.
Of my team, what
And
happens
slavery
to
too.
our city? What happens to our family of schools?
It's gonna get destroyed by nuclear destruction.
Doesn't look positive. The thought of losing our school feels unthinkable, but ultimately, if there are no pupils or less pupils, something has to be done to sustain the children that there will be.
Since 2008, when millennials became adults, certain things became incredibly expensive. The complications of buying a home, creating a family, and the expectation of what family life should look like economically is also obviously a pressure with the cost of living crisis, the inflationary house prices, the cost of tertiary education. And what that's done is essentially destroyed this notion of the two-generation classic family that we understood in the post-war years, and perhaps we thought we would just echo and mirror. And it hasn't happened like that for millennials, and it won't happen like that for Gen Z in the West.
I think probably, traditionally people would have had kids that are kind of like earlier on in their relationship.
We were probably held back a little bit by...
See what I mean? They ain't showing nothing but Edomites. Ain't no but Edomites. They concerned about the population. You don't see Jake in this bitch. Let me see. I don't know. That's Kim Yoon.
Their intention may be, a constrained...
I guess she's just somebody who doing research. I don't know.
In the UK, there is still a cultural kind of norm about being a homeowner before having a child. You know, most people who have children go on to have 2 or 3. So,
let's see, that's like showing is Edomites. You know they're gonna have some chocolate people in here. They ain't gonna be heathens. But they just showing them by Edomites. Or people that appear to look like Edomites.
She was speaking to me yesterday about what's happening politically in the world and how every day when all these things happen in the news, it's actually having an impact on her decision to have kids or not, because she doesn't like what's going on in America, what's going on in the UK. It's making her question whether she wants to raise kids in a world like that. I'm definitely terrified about how my kids would be raised up with what's happening politically.
Yeah, I mean, I would be too if I had children. I mean, I pray for the whole fullette to have children. They make it through this with their children, their whole family. Intermediate family. I don't know about the rest of their other family. Shit. I don't even know about hell. I ain't got no damn family myself. But intermediate family, I ain't studying them as much. Shit. I feel like I don't have no family like that. But anyway. Yeah, I wouldn't have no children, man. Some brothers, they have children. Hey, man, they you know, the Lord be with. I pray the Lord stay with them or be with them. Cause it's hard right now, and it's gonna get way harder.
Deciding how I protect my children from something like that.
In my entourage, which is a couple of generations back.
Oh my goodness, what the fuck is this shit? Oh my goodness.
Then, in our time, you know, we knew the state of the world a bit precarious, let's just say.
Okay, I thought for a second he seemed kind of, you know, that you know how you do the hand waving thing like Sanford and Son. I just thought that nigga was a British cigarette for a second.
With the nuclear issue and all that, but we had our kids. And I think.
Yeah, I thought this nigga was starting to look like he looked like a damn nigga. I don't know. Let me just be quiet.
We were bringing them up as best we could. I mean, I think there's a sense of this sort of slow post-industrial kind of polarization or decline, and you see the local ups and downs. But I think the state of the world is not good. It's not inviting.
Yeah, I thought that nigga was a fruitcake. Probably is still a fruitcake.
I don't see myself having kids because I don't want to personally bring a kid into a world like this.
Yeah, she's right.
Environmental state of the world in maybe 50 years is going to be 10 times or 50 times worse.
Yeah, she's right. She's right.
Believe that humans are parasites to the earth. The earth is doing.
Human is a parasite. It depends on which human you talking about. Yeah, he talking about Esau. That's the biggest parasite. Shit, he's the cancer, the virus, and everything above. Shit. And Jake, you just trying to survive to get through this shit day by day. And shit. And this nigga here just always terrorizing you, and meanwhile terrorizing his own people too.
Everything it can to get rid of us, and the longer we go on, the worse it's going to get. And so my personal moral belief is that we shouldn't carry it on. I don't want to carry it on.
So the Edomite woman says, man, this place sucks. And she probably would admit it, but they probably ain't going to say, she said humans, but I'm like, which humans? She probably know it's her own people. That ain't shit. Hell. Well, Matthew chapter 24, verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be, and except those days shall be shortened, there shall no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So for the elect's sake, the elect of Israel, the days going to speed up, because if we continue living in this world, everything will be dead. Population pretty much. Everything will be dead, not just humans but animals too. The little chickies, the little chicky birds right here. I was just looking at them on the other screen. Little chicky birds. I don't know what kind of birds they are. I guess they some kind of eagle. I don't know. The little chicky bird, they be dead too. Shit, everything be dead because of Esau. How much more videos I got? Like 3 more. Okay, let's get it.
Back in March, the president of France stood in front of a nuclear submarine called the Fearless and announced that France would increase its nuclear warhead stock.
One thing I mentioned, somebody had left a comment on one of my previous videos I did a couple of days ago regarding nukes, nuclear bombs. And he left a comment. I deleted that shit. I blocked that motherfucker too. But anyway, he left a comment talking about some, you believe that nukes exist or some shit like that, and he said you're a fool. And I'm like, well, prove to me they exist. I mean, prove to me they don't exist, because he believed they don't exist. So I'm like, prove to me they don't exist. Because in the Bible, they describing to you what the nukes are and what they capable of doing. What is it? Not the function or the effect. The effects when you detonate a nuclear bomb or it goes off. What are the effects? Great noise, fucking like mushroom cloud, a scroll in the sky or clouds. What else? Extreme fervent heat, melting elements. What else? Just a whole bunch of other stuff. But the Bible's 1,000. Y'all typed in the Bible's 1,000 years old, and it's giving you a description of what the nuclear bombs are capable of doing and what's the effects of it. And I didn't cuss the guy. I didn't say nothing foul or wrong. I just kept it casual. This nigga want to go off and talk about some you're stupid fucking motherfucking pro pedophile nigga. This that in all caps. This nigga put like maybe one paragraph. He typed up a paragraph. No, actually, he typed up one paragraph and he typed up some extra shit at the bottom of it. And all of it all in caps. Like, damn, is the shouting necessary? All caps necessary? I mean, he just called me all this and called me all that. I'm like, it's got to be an agent. There's got to be a motherfucking agent, an AI. I don't know, bugged out weirdo. So I just goddamn blocked that fucking faggot. I just blocked him, man. Because I was like, I ain't going to be trying to waste I shouldn't have never said anything to this motherfucker either. Shouldn't have just kept it quiet. Yeah, just like I normally do. If you ain't got a good question to ask me or something to say, then I'm not going to bother saying anything back. That's how it is. No offense to anybody I don't say anything or make comments to. But goddamn, these people are just fucking off it. They just out of their goddamn mind, man. Nigga just goddamn cussing and shit, calling me all this. But damn, did I say anything for you to offend you? No. Well, something I said offended that fucker. All I said was damn. I mean, the Bible's 1,000 years old and describing the effects of what a nuclear bomb would do. And now this nigga just go ballistic. But anyway, I just want to say that and show you how fucking retarded these people are.
While for the first time since 1992,
and not just retarded, but demonic as fuck too.
Deploy nuclear armed fighter jets to allied countries across Europe and extend its nuclear umbrella to any European partner willing to sign up. He called it forward deterrence, and then he said this: if we had to use our arsenal, no state, however powerful, could shield itself from it, and no state, however vast, would recover from it. 3 months later, 9 countries have signed up: Germany, the United Kingdom, Poland, the Netherlands, Belgium, Sweden, Denmark, Greece, and as of last week, Norway. 9 European nations have formally entered a French nuclear protection framework that did not exist 4 months ago, and today, as if on cue, the Financial Times reports that the United States is now in talks to expand its own nuclear weapons deployment and program, adding new host countries for American dual-capable aircraft. So the US watched 9 allies sign up for a French nuclear umbrella, and its response is to offer more of the same arrangement that Europe just decided it could no longer rely on. The United States was not consulted, it was not invited, it was...
Yeah, they said, fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, nigga.
Placed, and now it is scrambling to stay relevant. My name is Al, and
man, they getting rid. The Lord setting these the EU countries to go. Hey man, what is it? The hate. Well, they hating the whore, but it's setting them up to get ready to really show their hatred towards the whore, America.
I use data analysis
hating the whore
to spot patterns in geopolitics and economics, and the pattern here is unlike anything this channel has ever covered, because this is not about trade deals or payment systems or submarine orders. This is about Europe deciding, quietly, methodically, and at extraordinary speed, that the American nuclear umbrella can no longer be trusted, and that France will provide a replacement. Give this video a like, my friends, subscribe if you'd like to see more of this kind of content, and let's dive in. If you've been following this channel's playlist on European decoupling from the United States, you have watched this unfold across every sector: defense spending, cloud sovereignty, payments, software, AI, semiconductors, and Canada. This is the final layer, the nuclear layer, and it changes everything about how power works on the continent.
This is about winning again and again and again.
Here is what Macron actually offered. Under the forward deterrence framework, participating countries can temporarily host French strategic air forces, nuclear-capable Rafale fighter jets that would spread across the European continent to, in Macron's words, complicate the calculations of adversaries. France is building 2 new Rafale squadrons, nearly 40 aircraft, at an airbase near the German border, with 1.5 billion euros in modernization funding and 2,000 military personnel stationed there by 2035. Partner nations will participate in French nuclear exercises, visit French nuclear weapons facilities, and integrate their conventional forces into French nuclear operations. France will also stop disclosing the size of its arsenal to maintain strategic ambiguity. Macron called the dispersal of nuclear capability across Europe an archipelago of power. Poland is already in discussions about forward deployment of nuclear-capable Rafale aircraft on Polish territory. Germany, which is furthest along, has formed a steering group with France and will observe French nuclear exercises as early as this incoming September. The Bundeswehr, that's the Germany's military, may later take on active supporting roles as well. If you're trying to understand how to read the difference between a diplomatic gesture and a structural break in the global security order, my book Awake, the Practice of Critical Thinking in an Age of Self-Lies is available as an ebook and audiobook. Subscribers get 10% off, and you can grab the first chapter for free in the description links below. Norway's entry is particularly significant. Norwegian Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre flew to Paris last week, stood next to Macron at the Élysée Palace, and signed the agreement in person. He said Europe is contending with the most serious security situation since the Second World War. This is serious. Norway will not host nuclear weapons in peacetime, but the framework links existential threats to Norwegian security to a potential French nuclear response, even if the United States chooses to disengage. That last phrase is the one that matters the most. So even if the United States chooses to disengage, that is no longer a hypothetical for European planners, it is the baseline assumption. And now here's the part that makes this story...
I'm gonna start right there, but basically the allies of the United States are turning into enemies. They don't trust them. See, they lost trust, or no, America lost trust with their allies, and you know, rightfully so, because who the hell want to be around somebody who calling you a bitch ass nigga all the time, or looking at you like you fucking weak? So they like basically, hey, well fuck it. If that's the case, we'll just deal with it ourselves, you know, handle our own business or whatever. And pretty much this is all prophecy from Yahweh Shema Shah to pretty much disable NATO, yeah, these NATO countries away from America. Yep. And then they'll just be better off without America, especially EU. But yeah, that's Bible prophecy, is the beast hating the whore. But when it comes to these weak countries, I mean, not talking about America's enemies like, you know, Russia and China, but when it comes to their allies becoming the enemies of America. And they was considered to be weak, but now the Lord is beefing them up. They already getting in production when it comes to everything that's related to war, because they about to go to war with I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have to see how it's gonna be. Well, we know what it's gonna be like, especially when they're gonna shoot back at the United States. Shoot. Because I'm wondering when the time gonna come where all these countries gonna come against United States. I mean, when the news go, but I want to know. We're just gonna have to see. But let me go ahead and read this, because I don't want to keep running my mouth, because I don't know officially like that by detail how it's gonna play out. But we know the beast gonna hate the whore, and how they gonna show that hatred when the Lord put the spirit on these damn Europeans or NATO forces to launch missiles at America. Joel chapter 3 verse 9, proclaim ye among the Gentiles, prepare war and wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up, beat their plowshares and the swords and their pruning hooks and the spears, let the weak say I am strong. Yep. Oh, and another thing I want to mention, a couple days ago, I think it was yesterday, I did a video, and it was about, I said something about there were 10 tribes of it. No, what was it? The Southern Kingdom. I always thought that somebody would, I mean, I learned it from, somehow I kept thinking that Southern Kingdom consists of 3 tribes, that be Judah, Benjamin, Levi. I think that it came around later on, but it was mostly Judah and Benjamin. There was just 2 tribes, and the other Levi was broken up into different tribes. They scattered, having Levites in different tribes, especially mostly in the north, from Northern Kingdom. That sound, I don't know if that sounds right. Hopefully it is. But what it's saying, they were scattered. They had them in different tribes. When the Northern Kingdom was over here in America, they had Levites, the priests, over in the different tribes scattered here and there. But anyway, yeah, I made that mistake. I thought it was like 3 tribes of Southern Kingdom, and it's really 10 tribes in the Northern Kingdom. But anyway, hopefully what I'm saying is right. I'm still in the process of learning. Yep. Let's see what this video is about. Oh, more talk about nukes.
If you've been thinking about getting Pocket, this is your last chance to save At a time of rising geopolitical tensions, the US is considering sending nuclear forces near the Russian border. According to the report by the Financial Times, the Trump administration is in talks to deploy additional nuclear-capable bombers in Europe. Poland and the Baltic states are being considered as bases for the deployment of NATO nuclear bombers. Our next report taking a closer look at how this move could spark renewed tensions with Moscow. Take a look.
For decades, one principle has helped prevent a direct clash between the world's biggest military powers: fear. The fear that any nuclear conflict could spiral beyond control. That fear shaped the Cold War. It still shapes military planning today. But now, reports suggest a major shift could be underway. According to a Financial Times report, the United States is discussing whether to expand its nuclear sharing arrangements within NATO, potentially allowing more European countries to host aircraft capable of delivering US nuclear weapons. The discussions reportedly involve NATO's eastern flank, including countries closer to Russia. Reportedly involve NATO's eastern.
Look at that bruise on his hand. I knew that's Trump. Yeah, that Trump hand right there. That shit look nasty looking.
Flank, including countries closer to Russia. No agreement is said to be imminent, but talks are underway through NATO channels. Nuclear-capable bombers or strike aircraft are currently deployed in the United Kingdom, France, Germany, Italy, Belgium, and the Netherlands. According to reports, Poland and the Baltic states are eyed as bases for NATO dual-capable aircrafts. Right now, experts estimate that around 100 American B-61 nuclear bombs are stored at bases across Belgium, Germany, Italy, and the Netherlands and Turkey.
Oh man, nukes ain't real. I don't give a flying fuck what you people got to say, nigga. We'll see if they real or not when the time comes. Let's see what the chip. And you know it's so funny. The Lord make it that way to make it seem like, okay, you haven't seen no nukes yet. I haven't seen them, but they're described in the Bible. And the Bible's 2,000 years old, but it's written by man. But it was inspired by the Lord. And meanwhile, you probably, oh yeah, that asshole talk about some, what did he say? He's saying that the Bible ain't real. You stupid for believing in a God and shit. Well, what the fuck you gonna believe in, nigga? Because, well, in that time, you're gonna be calling on somebody. And you're gonna need somebody's help. Because you can't help yourself or save yourself from what's coming down the pipe, nigga. And see what you gonna do when you got to deal with the famine and the pestilence and shit. Motherfucker. I can't stand these fucking people. They really, I don't like this nigga. Is he serious? Yes, I gotta go back on that rant mode, man. I'm like, this motherfucker serious? And I had to block this son of a bitch. I was like, get the fuck out of you, cocksucker. Shit. Like, this shit don't make no sense.
The move comes as the Trump administration pushes European allies to shoulder a greater share of
I be
conventional.
like, well, if you don't think nukes are real, then let's see what happens when people get those chip implants. And as soon as a lot of people get them chip implants, then we'll find out if nukes are real at that time. And I don't know if I'm going to be living in that time. I pray I do live in that time to see, to witness all that shit. And I hope I don't be in the midst of that destruction. Well, it's going to be a lot of people dying.
Defense responsibilities while maintaining the American nuclear umbrella. Reports say Washington wants to reassure allies that reduced conventional deployments do not mean reduced security commitments. Moscow has repeatedly portrayed NATO's military buildup near its borders as a threat. Any move to place additional nuclear-capable aircraft closer to Russia could heighten tensions at a time when relations are already at their lowest point in decades. And concerns about nuclear escalation are no longer limited to Europe. Chinese People's Liberation Army General Meng warns that nuclear risk is increasing globally. The warning comes as wars in Ukraine and West Asia continue to reshape global security calculations. For now, these remain discussions, not decisions.
I be like, well, what the hell? If the nukes don't exist, why the hell you got this motherfucker? What is this? What's the purpose of this damn thing? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the purpose of this damn thing? This thing here, they ain't gonna be having built something so expensive and so high tech so nobody can't detect it's flying. And they gonna hook it up to some conventional bombs. You gonna hook some conventional bombs to it, man? Nah, that shit this thing gonna be capable to be carrying fucking nuclear payload. That's what they made the damn things for. Shit, but anyway.
International arms control disarmament and the non-proliferation regimes have been severely eroded. A series of nuclear arms control guardrails have collapsed. The two countries with the largest nuclear arsenals have entered the vacuum with no treaties, no verification, and no dialogue.
Diplomats say dialogue must continue despite differences. Military planners stress safeguards and clear communications. Analysts point to arms control gaps and fractured crisis channels as the real and present danger. Bureau Report, Beyond World is One.
Oh, what is it? The mysterious people emerge from manholes. What the fuck? New York manhole mystery. Strange nighttime sightings. Oh, there's probably some rats coming out of that bitch. Some two-legged rats wearing small hats. Shit. I heard of somebody had a video of an AI generated image of people coming out of manholes. That's probably Amalek coming out of sewers. He waking up out of his hibernation. Some of them, they hibernate in the sewers. Yeah. Shit. Them strange ass niggas wearing small hats. I thought at first it was talking about that woman that fell down the manhole. That bitch got fucked up. She fell down that manhole. First, the manhole it wasn't fully seated into the setting of the where the manhole's supposed to be, and it was like halfway in or whatever, and she stepped on the part and it flipped and boom, and then fell down, and that was a fucked up judgment. Yeah. But anyway, where I left off. Oh, I got one more video I want to play. Let me read this. Revelation chapter 11, verse 14. The second woe is past, and that's World War II involving atomic bombs. And behold, the third woe coming quickly. And that's the third woe, World War III, involving nuclear. And I don't care. If you don't believe that nuclear bombs exist, don't leave no comment. I don't give a fuck what you got to say, nigga. Shit, just go. Nigga, I don't want to care about what you gotta say. It's a waste of time typing up what you feel about. What your feelings. I don't want to hear your feelings, nigga. Anyway, shit. I just care about getting the hell on out of here and away from people who are non-believers. Shit. I mean, motherfuckers worrying about, there's no such thing as nuclear bombs, but there damn sure gonna be a such thing as motherfuckers dying a lot when all hell break loose. Oh, speaking of that, what they talking about? The writings on the wall. Well, hey, the writings on the wall that all hell about to break loose in this bitch at any moment. They're gonna be a shortage on goddamn everything, and stupid motherfuckers worrying about there ain't no such thing as nuclear bombs. Well, okay, who cares? Who cares? What the concern is, are you gonna make it through this famine? Are you gonna make it through this pestilence? Are you gonna make it through any of this shit, through Jacob trouble? Shit, I don't know. We'll see, but it's coming. And you know what else is coming? The mark of the beast, the chip implants.
And you keep this short, sweet, to the point. You need to sit down, buckle up, and be prepared. I went out to the bar, like, a couple nights ago, and this guy sat next to me.
Second Ezra chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mourning, the beginning of famine and great death. Yeah, talking about that population decreasing. The beginning of wars, World War III, class wars, civil wars, race wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The wicked elite hiding out in their bunkers and shit. The beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Seek Yahweh Shema Shan, repent as the Hebrew Israelites, for you so-called blacks, Latinos, Hispanics, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and you speckled birds that look like the heathens.
And I'm just making small talk. I live in a tourist town. Lots of people come through. So I'm like, hey, you from here? Where are you from? Like, what you doing here? Like, do you work? Like, just random stuff. And this guy sits down next to me, and he's older. He's like mid-50s. And we're just in casual conversation. And the topic of what do you do for work comes up. And he says, oh, I'm military intelligence. And I'm like, oh, very cool. So you know the scary stuff. And he said, and this guy was drunk as a skunk, so take everything that he says with a grain of salt. And I do too, but I also know that people have loose lips when they're not sober. And he said, why do you think I'm here?
Excuse me, what? He's looking off just like this, and he says, people are gonna start killing each other soon. And he said, isn't this the place you would want to be if everything was about to go to hell? I beg your finest pardon, sir? The conversation didn't last long, and he was so sloshed that it was hard to really comprehend anything he said. It sounded like he had a foreign accent of some sort, but at the same time, I couldn't tell. And he was just saying, things are about to get really bad, and this is the place I want to be. This is the best chance of survival. And he said, I pray nothing happens. I pray something stops it, and that something happens so that what is about to happen doesn't happen. But he said, this is where you're going to want to be. I'm terrified. But why would he say that? I mean, I know that Theo is gone. He's gone to Argentina, and I mean that raises its own alarm bells. But what does somebody in military intelligence know? And he didn't spill any secrets.
You know I said that? Yeah. No, what that scripture they read? 2nd Ezra. Let me see. That was where war is me. Yeah. And she said Peter Thiel is gone. Yeah, he went to Argentina because shit. What was that? That's a sign that the power shall stand in fear. Yeah, they hiding out in their bunkers. They going somewhere. They going to Hawaii. They going to New Zealand. They going somewhere away from America. Yep.
Secrets or anything. He just said things are about to be really
and they're
bad.
not trying to stay here in the super rich elite. They're not trying to stay here in America. Cause they taking heed to what the prophet's saying about their nuclear destruction. Why are they leaving out of America? They should be, why move so far away from America? They notice that nuclear destruction is coming. And they can't fucking stop it.
Take that as you will.
Yeah, take it as a warning. Take heed to what the prophets of Yahweh Shema Shah say. If you don't, then I don't give a fuck. That's on you, nigga. Well, anyway, that's all I got to say. But seek the Lord by seeking His prophets, take heed to what it say, and try to build a spiritual mental relationship with Yahweh Shema Shah by praying Yahweh Shema Shah, praising Yahweh Shema Shah, worshiping Yahweh Shema Shah, fearing Yahweh Shema Shah, repenting to Yahweh Shema Shah. To all the men out there pushing this truth and nothing but the truth in the name, spirit, and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, keep on preaching, keep on teaching, keep the faith, and you trust strong in Yahweh Shema Shah, and stay humble. And for you few sisters out there, take it heed, keep your faith and trust strong in Yahweh Shema Shah, stay humble, stay in order with your man. If you ain't got no man, stay in order, Yahweh Shema Shah. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, and all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah. Shalom.